Thanks for staying with us. Let's look ahead now to the weekend as the ANC will be celebrating its 113 years of existence and also tabling its January 8th statement to speak to the party's second Deputy Secretary General, Nomvula Mokonyane. Good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. Compliments of the season. Let's just start with, is it all systems go ahead of the weekend?
Compliments of the new season to Bongiwe and to the staff at SABC and the viewers at home. I'm the first Deputy Secretary General.
Pardon me, pardon me.
Okay, sis. No, it's all systems go. We went out, we met veterans, as we always have the pilgrimage wherever we go. We were dispersed throughout the province to go and meet with veterans and stalwarts of our movement yesterday. We had the National Executive Committee meeting of the ANC yesterday that was reflecting on the 113th ANC anniversary statement to be presented by Comrade President. And today, again, we're deployed everywhere to canvass and interact with different organizations as part of organizational renewal. And also having taken a retreat with regard to the setback we've had post the elections, we're reconnecting with the constituencies, we're reconnecting with the base. And the mood is the mood of unity, it's the mood of rebuilding, and it is a mood of showing South Africans and the world that the project for the renewal of the ANC is a programmatic one, and it is demonstrated in how we are going to have the form of the celebration and what we are doing currently on the ground, meeting sectors, talking to individual non-governmental organizations and influencers in the Western Cape.
And speaking about engaging with communities, how do you react to the incident that was involving the Deputy President earlier?
Oh, well, it occurred when I was meeting with an association of over 500 funeral undertakers. That incident occurred at that time. And when we verified as to what has exactly happened, our understanding is that there was a misunderstanding, and hence Comrade DP was able to apologize, but also continue and complete his mission. It was not a rejection of the ANC by the people here in the Western Cape, but it was a misunderstanding because in the absence of your political support staff next to you, security will come in and they will do what is supposed to be their responsibility. But we are happy that the Deputy President herself was able to explain, and the family, especially the head of the house, who's involved in the community service, was quite satisfied and even accepted that they've had a very fruitful engagement with the Deputy President.
And you touched on an issue that was in the statement last year ahead of the elections, you know, that you were looking at winning a decisive victory in the elections. We know what has happened. You've spoken about that. So what do your members and your supporters look forward to then this weekend?
The members of the ANC and supporters are waiting for orders, the marching orders that do not only talk about our own internal issues, but about taking the ANC back to the people. As you will recall, this anniversary happens at a time where we're celebrating also 70 years of the Freedom Charter. So going to Khayelitsha is again that symbolic demonstration by the ANC that our policies are coming from our own constituencies. We have had our people, and most importantly, we understand that it is only through us working together with them, being amongst them, that we can be able to have better processes of implementation of what stands to be now a document that has even influenced the constitution of our country. So we are moving beyond just the determination of policies, but on how to do things differently.
And you talk about doing things differently. In part, last year, for example, you were, as a party, in your statement, looking at reconstructing the economy to create more jobs as well as growth, because that was a big issue. Yet here we are. We're hearing of an ArcelorMittal, for example, that's shutting down its long steel business. That's a decision that could impact around 3,500 direct and indirect jobs. The economy is in trouble.
The issue of ArcelorMittal and also just the economy broadly is going to be one of the key highlights that is going to be presented in the NEC statement. You will recall that it is also priority number one in the NC's elections manifesto. So this is year one post the adoption of the elections manifesto. And amongst other things that we're dealing with is to move away from over-glorification of grants, but looking at skilling, looking at development, making sure that we have an industrial policy that can be able to deal with inclusive growth as well as transformation of the sectors that can drive our economy, particularly the manufacturing, the logistics sector, as well as your mining sector. It is that is going to come out of the NEC statement celebrating 113th year of the founding of the ANC.
And one then, of course, thinks about this issue of mining that you're raising even right now. As you hint, there's illegal mining that South Africa has been grappling with right now. There's an issue in Stilfontein. It's ended in the courts, but now we do know what has been going on as far as illegal mining is concerned. It's a big one, even with kingpins and all of that. What then becomes the possible solutions here that you might be putting on the table?
We need to look at illegal mining as a criminal act and to see the opportunities that go with artisan mining, so that then artisan mining can empower the communities along the mining belt of our country, Kagiso, Mogale City, Stilfontein and everything. But acts of criminality, we also don't have to be only looking at those that have been found in the belly of the earth, being the ones who are doing mining. We need to also follow those who are actually the ones who are benefiting out of this. You will recall that when we launched our 5-year manifesto, we talked about quotas and in the area of beneficiation. So artisan mining is very important. There are pockets of interventions that have already started. For example, in the areas you'll recall where we've had that horrible incident of our young women being abused outside of Kagiso in Gauteng. Those interventions are happening in Limpopo, as well as the department working together with communities to focus on artisan mining. But the bigger scheme of things is to deal with issues of beneficiation. So this is almost year one post the adoption of the manifesto, the 5-year manifesto. And in the presentation of the statement that the NEC spoke about was to say, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's look at how we implement, albeit we have had a setback, but we must still commit ourselves because we're part of a government and we're leading in that particular government.
And you are an ANC that is going into its 113th celebrations with some strong words that you've heard even from your alliance partner, for example, the SACP, when it comes to its General Secretary on the Government of National Unity. Yesterday, your president speaking at the Joe Slovo commemoration event in Avalon, saying that the SACP is the strength of the ANC is the strength of the SACP. These two entities need each other and splinters continue to hurt the party. But how are you grappling with some of the tensions that have been laid bare for all to see?
Between the time when the SACP had a special congress and yesterday, the ANC is as yet to reflect. But the move taken by the Communist Party is a very serious move. You can't even relate to the pre-independence of South Africa that before the Communist Party was banned, it used to be in government. The conditions were different. Here we've all agreed that we have an alliance led by the ANC. So as the movement, as the ANC, our posture as it was presented by the president, the unity of the alliance remains something that is very key. it will be only through the formal processes that the ANC will look at these issues and make a determination. But of course, the determination must be to the best interest of pursuing our national democratic revolution, of fighting poverty, inequality, and unemployment. It is that we'll deal with. We must respect the Communist Party as an independent body. If it has reached that stage that it can fight for socialism in the immediate, so be it. If it believes that it can actually be the one that represents our people better, so be it. But the important thing, our biasness remains towards the working class and the poor of our country.
Briefly, before I let you go, there's been mixed reaction to the decision to charge Obed Papela and Tony Ngeni. And when you look at the reaction, particularly on Tony Ngeni, some are saying that he's being stifled, while others are saying that it's a good move. How does the party respond to how some of what's playing out in the discourse has been in this matter?
Until now, the party has not reflected on the two issues. Until it is presented formally, then the ANC would be in a position to respond.
All right, let me thank you so much for your time. And certainly, as you say, it's all systems go for Saturday. But let's see then what the statement has in store for your members, your supporters, and some of those who are watching keenly as the people of South Africa to see what becomes some of, the answers to their most pressing issues. Appreciate your time. That was the ANC's first Deputy Secretary General, Nomvula Mokonyane.